Good day, everyone. Are you still awake? Well, it's not the time to sleep because we are going to tour you to the province of Ilocos. So before we approach our first destination, let me introduce myself. My name is Lex and I am one of your tour guides for the day. And on behalf of Travelicious Travel Agency, we hope that you enjoy this ride. So again, before we start, let me give you some safety precautions that we need to remember for this tour. Take your seat promptly and sit properly, facing forward all the times. Place bags and parcels under your seat or on your lap. Keep the aisles of the bus clear all the times. Always keep your head, hands, and arms inside the bus. Showing objects inside or outside of the bus is not permitted. So before we approach Ilocos province, let me give you some fun facts about Ilocos. The term Ilocos is said to have been derived from the word Ilocos, which starts with Y instead of I, which means from the lowlands, opposite to Igorot, which meant from the highlands. For Ilocanos, the most popular dishes are bagnet, pinakbet, and pinapaitan. Aside from the ever-famous bagnet, the famous food in Ilocos Sur is the vegan longanisa, made from ground pork, garlic, vinegar, and local spices. These pork sausages really capture any gourmet's attention with its distinctive taste. And now, let me give this platform to the next tourist guide.
Good day, tourists mabuhay! As we enter the Ilocos Norte, first I would like to introduce you myself. My name is Krishi and I will be your tour guide for today. On behalf of your travel services, we will make your journey unforgettable. The first attractions we will see to your left side is Paway Sand Dunes. It is popular geological site and tourist spot. Area spans about 88 square kilometers and is the best known as a great spot for 4x4 jeep rides across the sand and sandboarding. As we drive straight ahead and to your right side, we can see the St. Augustine Church, or more popularly called Paway Church. In Ilocos Norte, it is one of the oldest churches in the Philippines and is among the major attractions of Ilocos Norte. Built of coral blocks and stucco plastered bricks, the architecture is a unique combination of Gothic, Baroque, and Oriental. And we are now exiting Paway. Next is the One Luna Shrine is located in Badoc, Ilocos Norte. It is the birthplace of Juan Luna, one of the country's national hero in the Philippines. And he is famous for his painting, the Espolarium. Juan is also the brother of General Antonio Luna, who also fought for the Philippines' independence against the Americans.
After going to the One Luna Shrine, we are now going to one of the famous attractions here in Ilocos. But first, let me introduce myself. And I am also one of your tourist guide for the day, and you can call me Lex. So while we are approaching our next destination, let me give you some famous products here in Ilocos. So Ilocos has long been known for its clay pottery. You'll even find pottery workshops across some of the towns like Vigan. In Ilocano, their terms for their clay pots is bornay. It's traditionally used to store water or rice and ferment sauces and wines. Nowadays, bornay jars are also widely used for aesthetic purposes. Now, as we look into the left side of the road, we can see the famous sinking bell tower. But why is it called sinking bell tower? It is believed that the historic tower is sinking at the rate of an inch a year. There aren't any conclusive scientific explanations for this, but one accepted theory is that the tower is built on sandy land. Its heavy massive structure is causing it to bury itself into the ground slowly. It has survived several minor earthquakes since its constructions, causing scholars to label it as an earthquake Baroque style structure. The tower, built presumably after 1707 earthquake has a foundation of 19 meters. But what church is the sinking bell tower? The famous sinking bell tower is part of the St. William's Cathedral in Augustine. So to our left again, we can see the St. William Cathedral. It is the church here in Luwag City, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. The current church was built in 1612 by Augustinian friars to replace a wooden chapel. It also served as a seat or central church of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Luwag. The church is known for its Italian Renaissance design. It also has an unusual two-story facade supported by the two pairs of columns on each side of the arch entrance. The top of the facade holds a recessed niche that showcases the image of the city patron Saint San Guillermo el Ermitaño. It has windows made from capes with wrought iron screens. So as a trivia, as we proceed to the next destination, let me again give you some trivia here in Ilocos. Saint William of Perth, also known as Saint William of Rochester, was a Scottish saint who was martyred in England. He is a patron saint of adopted children. Following his death, he gained local acclaim and was canonized by Pope Alexander IV in 1256. And another famous church in Ilocos is the Mawai Church, which is the Roman Catholic Church in Mawai, Ilocos Norte Province, completed in 1710 after 2 decades of construction with the massive pediments and complementary bell tower standing imposingly on the expansive plain. The church is famous for its architecture that blends Baroque, Gothic, Chinese, and Japanese. As you can see on the left side of the road, you can see the Malacanang of the North or the Malacanang Tiamianan in the Ilocano dialect. Is a national park and museum in Pawai, Ilocos Norte Province. It was built in 1977 by the Philippine Tourism Authority, a 5-hectare property that overlooks the serene Pawai Lake. The place used to be residence of the late President Ferdinand Marcos and his family when they visited the Ilocos Norte during their return. It is one of the 29 houses the Marcos family was able to build during the 2 decades of the government. It was now transformed into a museum of the late president's memorabilia after Marcos was disposed in 1986 and died a few years later. This was a birthday gift from the First Lady Imelda Marcos to her husband in his 60th birthday. So let us proceed to the next tour guide.
As we exit to Malacanang of the North, I will now take over and introduce myself. I'm Jeff, one of your tour guide for today. And now, for our next attraction, on your left-hand side, we are now approaching to Museo Ilocos Norte. Museo Ilocos Norte is an excellent representation of the rich heritage of Ilocos and the ethnography of the Ilocanos, Igorots, Itnegs, Yapayaos, and other ethnicities. It is housed in a former tabacalera building which was the administration center of the tobacco monopoly during the Spanish times. It exhibits old tools used in farming and fishing, typical Ilocano house furnishings, and framed pictures of old Ilocos. It also showcases the rattan-woven handicrafts, traditional Ilocano clothing, and other artifacts across the province. As you may look to your right-hand side is the Cahel de Luna restaurant. The Cahel de Luna restaurant is one of the popular restaurants, a relaxing place where you can unwind and eat a unique empanada that is the smallest empanada with various colors that match its flavors. They also offer a variety of Ilocano cuisines that food lovers will surely love. The peaceful atmosphere and people are friendly, and the food that they offer are delicious and affordable. They have free Wi-Fi connection, help tourists from becoming bored while they wait for their meals to be served. And now look to your left hand side, you can see the Cape Bojador Lighthouse. It is known as Burgos Lighthouse, a cultural heritage structure in Burgos, Ilocos Norte, that was established during the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines. It was first lit on March 30, 1892, and it is the Philippines' highest lighthouse in the elevation from the Spanish colonial era. The lighthouse itself is of stone and coral construction with a delicate railing around the signal light itself. After 100 years, it still functions as a welcome beacon to the international ships that enter the Philippine archipelago from the north and guide them safely away from the rocky coast of town. Okay, tourists, are you still with me? Okay, so for our last attraction, let us look into our right-hand side, the dragon fruit plantations. The dragon fruit is used to produce vegan, friendly, and fully organic products. This includes the hopia or moon cake filled with the dragon fruit's dried flour, lumpiang Shanghai Filipino spring rolls, tea made out of the dragon fruit's roots, and the first ever dragon fruit coffee in the Southeast Asia. It is known as pitaya or strawberry pear. It grows on a climbing cactus plant that grow from 15 to 20 feet high and can live for as long as 2 decades. It is also known to boost your immune system and treat ailments such as constipation, spasticity, and seizures, among others. And now, I will give the tour to the next tour guide for the next attractions.
Good day, tourists! Before we head to our final destinations in Pagudpod, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. I am Celine, your last tour guide and the one who will assist you on our last trip for this day. Come and learn more with me as we head to Pagudpod. As we look to our left, we will see the Bangi Wind Farm, which is a popular stop for many people to take some stunning photos to keep and share. 20 units of 70 high meter windmills alongside Bangi Bay will provide scenes you'd want to capture for a lifetime. It is located all the way at the northwestern tip of the Philippines' Luzon Island in the province of Ilocos Norte. The windmills form a graceful arc that reflects the shoreline alongside Bangi Bay and faces the West Philippine Sea. Due to Ilocos' location between the Pacific Ocean and the South China Sea, the province tends to have more wind than most others in the Philippines. This makes for a great place for one of the Southeast Asia's biggest wind farms. In fact, it was the biggest until the Burgos Wind Farm took the title in 2014. As we enter the left side of the road, we will arrive at the Pagudpod White Beach, or also known as Saud Beach, perhaps the most beautiful and relatively untouched destination in Ilocos Norte. The area known as Pagudpod is a gorgeous place that is rich in thick jungle, wilderness, magical white sand beaches, and friendly locals. One beach that has caught the attention of the adventure seekers, backpackers, and people who just want a relaxing holiday is the incredible Saud Beach. This beach has been dubbed as the Boracay of the North because of its perfect white sands and pictures blue waters, but this gem of the Philippines is what Boracay used to be before commercial tourism took over. Aside from the very popular beach in Pagudpod and the Bangi windmills, Ilocos Norte is the place where you can find a beautiful rock formation, the Bantay Abot Cave, located along the shore of the little town of Baloy in Ilocos Norte. This intriguing geological phenomenon is actually a rocky hill that was created by an earthquake that occurred a very long time ago rather than a cave. And also, did you know that the name Bantay Abot Caves means a mountain with a hole? This cave-like rock archway, which frames a rocky shore, is thought to have originally been a hill that gradually eroded following an earthquake. It also has a view of the West Philippine Sea and is close to the Cabigan Waterfall and Patapat Viaduct. For our last destination on this trip, there is the Patapat Viaduct, which you will see along the road. The Patapat Viaduct is an elevated road over 30 meters above sea level. This 1.3 kilometer long coastal bridge can be found in the municipality of Pagudpod in Ilocos Norte.
connecting the Maharlika Highway in Lawag to the Cagayan Valley. This is also a busy street above the coastal areas of Pagudpod. This is also the fourth longest bridge in the country. This winding concrete beauty is said to be the northernmost roadway part of Ilocos Norte. And that's all for our tour for today, and I hope you learned and gained some knowledge from us as we introduce you here in the province of Ilocos. As we end this tour, I would like to introduce myself again, as well as my co-tour guides for this trip. I am Celine.
My name is Krishi.
Next.
I'm Jeff.
It is a pleasure meeting all of you. We hope that you enjoyed this trip with us and had a nice day. We'll be glad to know if you choose us again on your next tour.